What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And I reckon, see, that's an old school word. I reckon I need to make a video about Kanye West and his interview with TMZ. And you know, this was one of the reasons I was a little concerned about Kanye stepping out doing interviews, because, you know, I mean, he's new to the game of politics. He don't realize that it's always a motive, okay? They're not his friend, okay? Just like they try to make President Trump think that we just want to bring you in for a little chat. There's always a motive when it comes down to interviewing someone controversial, because you won't sell tickets, you won't sell clicks, you won't sell magazines, whatever, if you don't focus on the negative. Now, it's no more than, say, the FBI bringing somebody in. Listen, I'm here for you. I'm on your side. Look, all you got to do is just tell me who was the mastermind behind the whole plan. Because, see, I can help you. And in reality, no, you don't want to help me. What you want to do is you want to get me to confess so you can finish this case and lock me up. That's what you're really trying to do. So these guys is cackling in his face. Oh, my man Kanye, baby, come on in, man. Let's talk to you, baby. Let me, what's going on with all of this? Really, they had a motive, all right? They're fishing, and they're trying to come up with something he could say that they could make him really look like either crazy or he's done sold out to, I guess, the right-wing conspiracies and mentality and so on and so forth. So they begin to talk to the man about some stuff. And let me tell you, see, this is what I got a problem with when it comes down to the media. They take things out of context, okay? So he's talking about slavery, and this has been a big controversy going around. So listen.
You saw the video of Daz. Oh, you can live through an ass whooping. You ain't gonna live through.
He's talking about the Crips saying that they was gonna beat him up, but at the same time, the people said they was gonna kill him. See, big difference.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years, and it's all of y'all. You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust, Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race. That we're one. We're the human race. We're human beings and stuff. And then eventually, you know.
Can I go back to something you just said? I don't want to let it pass. You said that slavery was around for 400 years. At a point, it becomes a choice.
Yeah, right now we're choosing to be enslaved. We're like, okay, so Ebro, I FaceTime him, and I'm there with Candace. Right?
Now, let me just go ahead and stop it here for a second. All right. Now, he's talking about slavery. Now, I done seen all the reaction. Everybody's losing their mind. What? Slavery wasn't a choice. We were all thrown in. Now, they just totally cut out the fact that he says that 400 years, at some point, it becomes mental. How can you interpret this any other way besides the way the media wants to interpret it? See, they wanted it to be as if he wasn't metaphorically speaking to the mind frame of slavery. They're trying to make it focus on that. How can you say that? They drug him out there and physically put him in chains. Well, let me give you the breakdown. All right. Look at an elephant. An elephant is a 2-ton creature. Very, very powerful. But what they would do to train the elephant at the circus. I remember being in the circus, walking past and saying, Mama, what? Why that elephant over there and he won't just run off? And all he has is a little rope tied around his ankle. Okay. Well, when that elephant got to the circus, he was a baby elephant, and so what ended up happening is they took that baby elephant and they put a chain around his ankle. And every time that baby elephant would pull and yank to try to get away, he couldn't move. He couldn't get away. Well, after trying over and over and over again and not being able to break free, it finally gets to the point where it accepts its slavery, okay? It becomes content living in the circus. It actually rests in the comfort that all the circus appears to give to them. Look at this. We give you peanuts. We allow you to look at all the people that come in, they cheer you on. They're here for you. They like to ride on your back. I mean, what's your problem, elephant? All we ask you to do is stand on the ball every once in a while and, you know, get up and do some stuff like this and dance a little bit. And look, that is a good payoff. I mean, you know, we're giving you all your supply. Hey, in the wild, you'd have to hunt. We give you hay. We give you water. What else do you want? Now, that elephant becomes content with staying in the circus. And then when it gets older, they don't have to no longer put the elephant in chains. What they do is they just put a simple rope around the elephant's foot. And in the elephant's mind, that rope represents bondage. They're saying, you know what? I tried so many times to get free, and it never worked. And so, you know what? What's the use of trying to get free? Besides, right here, I got everything I want. The people here, the circus guys, they give me stuff. They take care of me, you know, not realizing that all it would have to do is try one more time to just pull and break away. It's not the physical, because physically, the elephant could get loose. It was mental. I did a video laughing about one of my students in the past who was a basketball player, and he tried to say a big word during a basketball game, and everybody cracked up. You know, he said they called the timeout. He was going to motivate him. He said, listen, we winning, but they beating us mentity. And everybody said, what are you talking about? He said, look, mentity, meaning the mind. So what ends up happening is the slavery starts to take place mentity. Okay, for all the people who can't see the metaphor that he was trying to bring out, okay? And let's be real. The only thing that cannot be enslaved is your mind. That's it. How do you think the slaves would ever even attempt to get free? Only way they could do that is if they were free first in their mind. So what he's talking about is, at what point did the slaves get to where they said, even though it's millions of us and maybe 3 or 4 slave masters riding on horses on the plantation, we could easily drag them off, you know, and kill them and break off and be free. But what happened is, if you break them down early mentally, then they stop thinking about freedom. They start thinking that it's useless and this is the way it is. And besides, Massa continue to treat us good. He feed us. He let people come in and take a look at us. Wow, that's a great plantation. You got lots of black people out there working, picking cotton, Frank. Thank you, Jim. Built them up since they were little kids, breaking them down mentally. So what they would do is they bring the biggest, toughest slave that got off the boat who wasn't broke down mentally, who said, I ain't gonna be no slave. And then they put him in front of all the other slaves, and they said, you see this guy? This is what not to do. And they ripped that person apart by 4 horses, and everybody else psychologically went right into bondage. They said, whoa, if that's what happens to slaves that rebel, then man, I will keep me in bondage and let me continue to bale this hay. Well, guess what? There's a lot of black people right now that's enslaved mentally. And guess what? When a person like Kanye decides, I'm going to be free and I'm going to buck against the system, including myself and other black conservative commentators, you know what happens? They put one of them out there and they say, this is what happened to any of y'all who want to be free. Let's rip them apart. But let's not rip them apart physically. Let's rip them apart mentally, emotionally, economically. Let's rip up their reputation. Let's rip up their finances. Let's do everything we can to rip them up in front of everybody to see and all the other black people to show them what not to do. And black people look at that and they say, whoa, it's safer here on Massa's plantation where he just make us go down and vote. And then he give a food stamp, and he also give us welfare and government assistance and all this stuff. And he tell us that if you leave this plantation here, there's people out there, they looking for you. They ain't gonna treat you like Massa treat you. They want you dead. You know what? Them bad old Republicans, they out there, if you start to voting for them and that evil Donald Trump, let me tell you something. It ain't good out there. You stay right here on this here plantation. And black people do it. So what he's talking about, see, I got to break it down, all right? For all of those, man, what this cat talking about, man? It wasn't no choice for black people to be in slavery, man. Slavery was straight up physical bondage. We all know that, man. But what we really are saying by that, or what he's saying, at least I understand it, is it's not about being physically in chains. It is about being mentally in chains. And I wonder sometimes if any black people ever stop to ask themselves, why are we continuing to vote Democrat? Why are we continuing to support the liberal agenda that most of their agenda is bad for black people? Why? Don't even question it. You know why you don't question it? Because you're in slavery. Mentally, not physically. They have set it up for many, many years, it was, who was it? It was President Lyndon B. Johnson said, I'm going to have these you-know-whats voting for us for the next 200 years. So what he's really done is he said, let's get them to the point where they don't even question whether they should lead a plantation or not. They just accept all of our policies, all of our rhetoric, whatever we say about Trump, whatever we say about the Republican Party. All we got to do is tell them that those people out there hate you and is against you, and they all racist and sexist and everything else, but not us. Not us. We're here to treat you good. All you got to do is dance a little bit for us. All you got to, we give you some peanuts. We throw you some peanuts. Not too much. We give you some peanuts. But long as you keep dancing for us, get on top of that ball, let the people come in and look at them. You got those brothers in shape. Got them, they look at them, they go right down to the polls and click it just like clockwork. Thank you, Frank. My master plan worked to convince them that somehow the most racist party in America, the Democratic Party, somehow flip-flopped, even though history says that the Republicans supported black people all the way through history. But we were able to convince them that somehow the Republican Party just became extremely racist and the Democratic Party became very inclusive. Well, they now became the champions for civil rights. And it worked. They're sitting back cracking up. And guess what? Black conservatives get so mad because they say, how did that work? Y'all ain't seeing this? You're not seeing CNN pushing this mess? You're not seeing MSNBC? Did y'all watch the whole interview? Did you hear what he said? Did you see how they took that out of context? Is it just me? How am I able to see that, but the rest of y'all can't? Well, you know why? Because they're in slavery. Mentally. So, for all of those who are so quick to say, I need to find reasons to say Kanye West is crazy and he don't need blah, 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 blah. Look, the context he's talking about is mental slavery. All right? Sorry, we got to break this down to those who, you know how it is. It's mental. And Harriet Tubman said, you know, free 200 slaves. But could have freed 200 more if they just knew that they were slaves. And that's the frustrating part about being a conservative black man. When you talk to a lot of minorities and black people and they get mad at you for trying to free them mentally from the slavery that they've been in for years. They say, you know what, don't come up in here. You talking crazy. Master treat me good. I ain't going nowhere. You know what, you the sellout. You know what, you the Uncle Tom. And I'm going, okay, Uncle Tom tried to save the slaves. I don't know what you're talking. I'm trying to get you out of this mess. And I'm the bad guy? See? That's the trick. That's the mental flip. They saying Kanye is not. Now he's the bad guy. Okay? I want you to go from loving him just like y'all used to love Trump. Okay? Remember? Everybody used to love him until he ran against the Democratic Party. Even the Democrats loved him. Hillary, Bill, all them, they loved him. They weren't walking around calling him racist then when he was giving them money. You mean tell me all these years they've been hanging out with Donald Trump and never knew that he was racist? You got to be kidding me. But then he runs against them, and now he's a racist, he's a misogynist, he's a sexist, he's a homophobe. He's all of these things. Kanye West, they love him. Oh, man, I love his music. He hot. Now, all of a sudden, he says, I support Trump. Worst man on the planet. Y'all don't see what's going on? Now, who's really in slavery? Not physically. Just got to make the disclaimer. Mentally, or in the words of my student, mentity. Mentity. You've been listening to Kevin at Kevin's Corner. I had to lay something heavy on your mind, man. Get people together. If you like this video, hit like, share it, all right? And also follow me on Twitter, Facebook. And if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's links in the bottom to do so. God bless you. See you next time. Kevin's Corner.